Hello, everyone. Good morning. We are here for an early morning live stream with Eye Care Business Magazine. My name is Erinn Morgan, and I am the editor-in-chief of Eye Care Business. And I am really thrilled to be here today with Andrew Hinsick. Did I say that correctly,
That's
Andrew?
correct. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Andrew Hinsick, who is the VP of Marketing for Zeiss Vision Care. And he is currently here at the brand new, super exciting Zeiss Customer Experience Center, which is at the new Zeiss headquarters is it Hebron, Kentucky?
Hebron, Kentucky, correct.
Hebron, Kentucky. So super exciting. They've got an amazing event going on there this morning. Got dignitaries coming. You're kind of doing a ribbon cutting for opening the whole kind of space there. And what we're very excited about is to learn more about this from Andrew this morning. And Andrew is also going to give us a tour of this new Customer Experience Center, which sounds really amazing. It's been a multi-year construction project at Zeiss at this Zeiss Vision Care's new U.S. headquarters in Kentucky. So I know it has a really great architectural design. We can see that behind you, Andrew. So Andrew, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time to share this with our viewers and our readers of Eye Care Business today. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do with Zeiss as a kickoff here?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Erinn, thank you so much for having me on. As you said, today is a very special and exciting day. I can hardly contain myself. I feel like a kid in the candy store because we've got so many new things. You said it yourself, a couple of new things we wanted to highlight. So we'll get into those in a bit. Just a quick introduction. Again, my name is Andrew Hinsick, and I'm the head of marketing for Zeiss Vision Care USA. And I've been with the organization for coming on 5 years now. I have a background in marketing and various medical device technologies and consumer products, but I had a direct connection with Zeiss when I saw the opportunity to join that team. Having lived in Europe a lot and in the US and grown up with the Zeiss name and Zeiss brand, it was always familiar or in the backdrop because of all the various technologies that they make. So it's been an incredible journey. And today is another huge milestone for us with the ribbon cutting and ceremony, as you pointed out, for our brand new US Vision headquarters in Kentucky.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Andrew. Appreciate that and really glad to have you here. I want to also welcome our audience and let you folks know, I already see some folks commenting in our comment bars here. We're live streaming right now to Facebook and to YouTube. So you can type into those comment bars there on Facebook and in YouTube and let us know if you have any questions along the way, any questions for Andrew, questions about the Customer Experience Center. So please feel free to type those into the comment bars. And we also love to know who's here. I see Carla William is here from Coexist Eyewear. And welcome, Carla. Thanks for joining us. So folks, please feel free to type in your name, your practice name, your business name into those comment bars too. We love to know who's here watching today. So thank you all. And we're going to head into a couple of quick questions for Andrew to share a little bit about the background of this Customer Experience Center with us. And then we're going to get into this exciting tour. So Andrew, obviously a lot of passion and inspiration behind this new Zeiss Customer Experience Center. Can you please share a little bit of background on the new headquarters and the Customer Experience Center for Zeiss Vision Care, and what's the goal and kind of the vision for this center?
Absolutely. So as we mentioned already, there's a couple new things worth highlighting. First of all, we have a brand new lab, an Industry 4.0 bleeding edge, state-of-the-art lab that we just finished completing. I'm looking at it, and you'll see it on the tour as well. So that's been a multi-million-dollar investment, multi-year investment that's just completed. We've also announced just a few weeks ago that the new US Vision headquarters is here. And to marry that up with a brand new retail concept, or we call it a Customer Experience Center because it's got multiple elements in it. One of them being the Zeiss Vision Center retail store or optical store concept that we're going to be introducing to you. And we also have a conference center, and we have a mini sort of museum heritage area as well as part of that. So when you combine the brand new lab with a brand new Customer Experience Center, it was only logical to make that our new US Vision headquarters. Traditionally, we were in San Diego, but now with this investment in this facility, the fact that it is state-of-the-art, both on the optical retail concept store side as well as a lab, it made perfect sense to make this our official US headquarters. A little quick fact for you, the location of Hebron, Kentucky is very strategic too, because we have about 60% of the US population accessible within 500 miles of this area. This is a very strategic logistics and shipping area where you have access to DHL's got a center here, FedEx, UPS, and we're even across the street from Amazon. So we're about 2 miles from the airport. So the strategic intent is to make this lab also reachable to pretty much everybody on the Eastern Seaboard and in the Midwest. So there's a very good intent for making this our core and central focus and heart of the organization for our business in the US.
That's great to know. Certainly makes a lot of sense. And the location, yeah, that's really interesting to know about the location. So with, looking at our viewers and our readers of Eye Care Business Magazine, the eye care professionals, out there today, what does the Zeiss Customer Experience Center mean for eye care professionals, and kind of how can they benefit from this new center?
Thank you, Erinn. That's a great question, and really gets to why are we doing this? Because just a little another piece of trivia, we have over 200 Zeiss Vision Centers around the world, in Europe and Asia and Latin America. We haven't gotten one yet in the US. We're about to start a campaign to kind of help create those. Now, Zeiss obviously does not own or manage or operate any of those. It's a concept that we bring to our partners and ECPs out there to kind of become more of the practices of the future. We know that a lot of businesses out there and independents specifically are competing with online threats and retailers, or competing with big box stores, and are trying to find kind of how do we connect with our patients and how do we grow our business when we're facing so many threats online or brick and mortar. And the Zeiss Vision Center is precisely designed and intended to help these independents compete and differentiate in a market that's becoming increasingly kind of either commoditized or consolidated. And there are three pillars that I want to really stress here with you that makes this Zeiss Vision Center concept so different. The first one is a sense of design, and a design built around a patient experience that I describe simply as the wow experience. When patients come here, the reaction they get is so cool, so neat, so modern. I also describe it, colloquially as, if Star Trek and the Apple Store had a baby, it would kind of look something like this here. And you'll see what I mean as we go through the tour. So there's a sense of, wow, this is different, this is special, this is cool, this is modern. And the second element is digital technology that you see kind of infused throughout what we call the digital patient journey. So everything is managed digitally, electronically, using diagnostic equipment and exam information. It's all centralized on the server, and it's digital. It's managed essentially from an iPad. So they like that. They like the technology, the whiz-bang factor. It makes them feel like they're getting the best healthcare possible out there. And then the third pillar, an important one for us, is the brand. Consumers are looking for brands that are authentic, that they can relate to, that make a difference in their lives. And the Zeiss name has been around for 175 years, believe it or not. We're celebrating this year 175 years. So again, a lot of stuff happening in 2021, but the brand stands for something because we touch people's lives in so many ways, with our microscopes, with our telescopes, with our semiconductors, our medical equipment, our camera equipment, our movie equipment, you name it. Everything to do with optics, Zeiss has been part of that for 175 years. And so the name resonates with people. So when you combine an incredible wow experience that's built around a terrific design, when you bring in digital technology to make it seamless and flow using the latest technologies available, and you bring in the brand name of Zeiss, you create something truly unique and differentiated out there that'll appeal to people and make them want to come and refer to their colleagues and friends and families as well. That's our belief, and then we've seen it work throughout 200 other locations around the world, and it's time for that to happen in the US.
Amazing. Well, that is great information and great for our readers, Andrew. Thank you for sharing that. And, as part of this, and I'm looking around in the background, while we're talking, and it just looks so incredibly modern and just a really gorgeous space. So can you tell us a little bit about the architectural design of the center? What's the focus there? And I know we'll get a little bit more of that on the tour too, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The design is the first and perhaps most important element that you see immediately when you walk in here, and we'll see more of that. But the design was originally developed by an architect and artist called Elmar Geigel, who developed the first concept of the Zeiss Vision Center. It was very clean lines, very modern, and we've since had developed a palette to provide a range of textures and colors and materials to bring both the modern, clean, white lines, but also bring some accents, some colors, some woods, some carpets, some fabrics as well, to create the rich, modern, contemporary look that people are familiar. Again, the Apple Store is one example of what people are familiar with, or Tesla stores, these types of environments that are very tactile, using very modern materials, or granite, or stone and woods and so on. So we try to make it modern and vibrant, but also warm and relatable. And you'll see how the architect has also integrated certain local textures or elements to give the little accents to this journey so that people can feel connected. For example, in the choice of materials used, or in the plants that are used, or in the woods that are used, to kind of relate to the locality. And I'll give you an example in a few minutes. So there's a fairly wide palette, but the Zeiss Vision Center, to earn the denomination of a Zeiss Vision Center, certain minimum requirements need to be met in terms of, for example, the iris, or the eye in the sky that's right above me, using Zeiss vision technology solutions for diagnostics and for the exam, and branding elements as well. And you'll see those throughout the journey.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing it. So one last quick question before we get to the tour. With this education, the dedicated educational space there that focuses on Zeiss's contribution to the optical innovation throughout history, can you just tell us a little bit of those details on that space?
Absolutely, and you'll see it again a little later on, but 175 years of heritage. We created a little mini museum, or heritage, or homage to all the innovations in the field of optics, and specifically in vision care. Some historical elements, from camera lenses that were used on the moon, to some glasses or microscopes developed early on by Zeiss back in the 1840s, 1850s. So we brought it a little bit so that people can connect to all the various aspects or dimensions in their lives where Zeiss has played a role. So we have cameras, we have the cinema lenses, we have binoculars, rifle scopes, we have all kinds of elements that we're bringing to life, and I can't wait to show you.
I can't wait to see it, and I'm sure everyone here can't wait either. Well, without any further ado,
let's get moving.
Let's do it. Yeah, so thank you. We're looking forward to the tour. Here we go.
So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is recreate for you the patient journey as they arrive in a practice. So we've recreated kind of an optical shop, if you will, with all the Zeiss Vision Care elements. So let's just start pretend we're customers arriving. So I'm going to walk right back to the entrance here.
Perfect.
And as you can see, we have some preparations for our special event today. We have local dignitaries from Northern Kentucky who are going to be coming with us and cutting the ribbon. So a lot of preparations and balloons throughout, you may see as well. So let's just start over here. I've just walked into the Zeiss Vision Center, and you can see on my left over here, we have various examples of what the store window could look like. We have some posters, some frames with some of our customers and partners. We're also highlighting some accessories right here. So this is kind of to give you an idea of what your shop window could look like, with the various design elements and campaigns that we're supporting. That. Now I'm walking in here. Now the really cool thing here is, you can see over my shoulders here, we have these windows that look directly into our lab. And as I said earlier, this is a state-of-the-art Industry 4.0 lab, unlike anything in the world. It is, without a doubt, the most advanced, most modern, most robotically inclined lab in the world for creating lenses.
Incredible.
And so that's a huge feature. And what we're doing here is kind of like with our diagnostic technology, we're bringing the lab into the Customer Experience Center here to highlight our technology. We're proud of it. We want people to see what goes into making lenses. And so we decided to not hide it. We wanted windows, and we want to have people come in and really experience that. So I want to invite anybody who's interested to reach out to their Zeiss business development representative to see if they're interested in visiting our lab. We'd be happy to show them the lab as well as the Customer Experience Center. But wonderful. I digress a little bit. We have our welcome area over here. As you can see, the Customer Experience Center title is there, and we have Erinn at the desk there. Hello, Erinn.
Hi, Erinn.
So you walk in, you kind of check in, you come now, you follow the path. So we created a path on the floor here, as you can see, with a dark tile surrounded by wooden tiles over here.
Oh,
a
nice.
waiting area, a nice stylish wooden area with some organic elements here, some natural plants to give, again, those accents, those colors, and to make it feel warm and more natural. We have our coffee bar station here, of course, which is a must-have in this day and age. Also included here is our Zeiss UV Clean. You may be familiar. We have developed this technology that can disinfect frames in 40 seconds, unmatched in this industry, and a great way to kind of protect and clean and disinfect your frames after use by patients. So let's continue over here. I'm now walking. We have a little display area here for our accessories. As you may know, Zeiss is the leader in providing lens cleaning solutions as well as anti-fog solutions. We have anti-fog wipes and anti-fog sprays that are extremely popular for obvious reasons. People wearing masks and glasses need to have fog-free vision, and we're the only ones to offer 3 days worth of fog-free prevention or fog prevention on frames using our spray. So it's a really popular item. And a lot of folks are ordering that. So we have that on display here for anyone who wants to sell those to their patients. Continuing over here, you see where I was sitting earlier. This is what we call our eye in the sky. This is a unique and patented design element that is exclusive to Zeiss, and that is one of the highlights of the Zeiss Vision Center when you come in here and hit the dispensing area. So we'll come to that a little bit later. I'm going to continue the journey and pretend we're going to go for a pretest. So one of the highlights before you get there, a sort of accent, if you will, for people to really focus on, we talked about digital technology. Well, we have the Zeiss Fizzy Fit 1000, which is really an icon of modern technology used to create a digital avatar of the patient using, millions of data points to do a 180-degree view of the patient so that they can better do virtual try-ons, for example. So once they're digitized and their avatar is created, they can try on hundreds or thousands of pairs of frames that are adapted to their anatomically correct face and features, which is really unique in this industry.
Amazing.
Next we're going to go into our pre-test room. We have a variety of Zeiss technologies that we're super proud of. Obviously, the eye profiler, the VisuLens, various technologies, including one from our Meditech colleagues that we're super proud of, the Claris. So very high end, very streamlined, and also appreciate a bit the look, the design, the style of these elements so that the patient can see the consistency. Again, we got a glass so that patients can see in and appreciate the technology. Think of how many times we lock our technology, ECPs lock it up in a dark room and nobody gets to see it until they walk in there. No, our philosophy here is to bring it all out and let people see and appreciate the investment that's been made in this technology. A lot of money goes into it. It's like, I think of it of the restaurants, more and more restaurants now bring the kitchen into the dining area. People want to see those kitchens. That's the same idea behind this. Why spend, $100,000 on equipment and hide it in a dark room? Bring it to the forefront. Let people appreciate what you're doing for them. That's that digital aspect that really comes to life here.
Absolutely.
Next, we're moving into our exam room. Now, our exam room serves really two purposes. It's a traditional chair and phoropter, but it's all digital. So everything can be controlled via an iPad. And the advantage of the iPad control is that you can also maintain a safe distance with the patient. So you're not physically touching and turning knobs. So it helps your arms, your shoulders, your neck. So you're not doing the switch number one, number two. You can control it from the iPad and do that electronically. You're keeping a safe distance. The other advantage of this technology is for remote retraction. We have a TV over there and a camera. So you can literally, the doctor can be from their home or from another location and communicate directly with the patient in the chair and control remotely, the number one, number two conversation and change the lenses to make sure that they're getting the best prescription for the patient. So
that's incredible.
Really, really cool stuff. Again, safely distancing. And speaking of safe distancing, we've also created a separate flow. So I walk into the pretest. Now the patient will come out and not cross with anybody else by going through the special aisle right here. So follow me. We're going to go back into the dispensing area. I just want to point out one little display case that we have over here that's designed to feature kind of your best frames or select collection right here. There you go. Hopefully you see it now.
Oh,
A cool
yeah,
design element, well lit, almost like it's a jewelry case
it
to
does.
get people
Yeah.
to feel differently again. It's all about feeling differently when you come into this space and noticing that this is unlike anything else that you've done before in a more traditional practice, perhaps. So let's continue. We're going to be going to our frame wall. This is another unique element and design of the Zeiss Vision Centers, these white shelves lit from above. We also have
Right.
included a TV to highlight some of the frame partners that we've worked with.
Ah,
It's Luxeye and Brooklyn Optical, and we also have Todd Rogers and a few others we're working with. So we use this space to kind of highlight them and also bring the branded frames to life.
it
Next,
really does. It's gorgeous.
you like that?
Yeah.
Over here on my left is what we call our conference center or meeting room. We can accommodate up to 15 people. So anyone who's in the area or is interested in visiting us can also have training and education and have a meeting to discuss whatever's going on in their practice and their business and engage with Zeiss on various topics. So I'd like to, again, invite anybody who's interested to come on over and let us know if they'd like to stop by and know that they can have a business meeting here again for up to 15 people. Now,
Fantastic. I love how everything's so open, Andrew. Really, bright and open and light.
yes, that's certainly the goal. And one of the things that you may not have seen, and maybe Sarah, you can point to, is our lighting too. We have some very unique lighting elements over there. You can see these sort of drops
Oh, look
that
at this.
resemble,
Nice.
tears or eyes, depending on how you look at it.
Right.
But that again, the sense that design is such an important part of this
Right.
patient wow experience. How do you impress people? How do we appeal to the millennials and the Gen Zs, the folks who are used to doing everything digitally and electronically? Well, you do that by creating a space unlike anything else that's really cool and modern and appeals to their senses and their style. And so that's what we try
Definitely.
to do here. By using these dark ceilings and white walls, we kind of have more contrast.
Yes.
And in fact, Sarah's pointing out to one of the key areas on our tour, if you will, in our heritage space, which is our timeline. We talked about 175 years at Zeiss. Well, it all started with this gentleman here, Carl, and his colleague Ernst Abbe down there, and it started with microscopes. And we developed some amazing innovations. I'm only going to call out 2 or 3 of them. In 1935, one of our engineers, Alexander Smakula, invented the first anti-reflective coating. So
Wow.
that was a Zeiss innovation. Followed in 1970, believe it or not, Zeiss developed the first photochromic lenses. That was us, that was
Incredible.
Zeiss. And then we came up in 2000 with the first freeform technology that we've patented and developed. And more recently, you see things like our new portfolio of Zeiss Smart Life lenses, a complete portfolio redesigned for the 2020s and designed around the on-the-go lifestyle that we all have in the use of our digital phones so much. So our eyes are looking lower and closer, but are having to travel to more spots, but always coming back to our phones when we're walking, we're moving. So we needed a complete rethink, redesign of our lens designs to accommodate kind of the digital on-the-go lifestyle. So that's a huge innovation that we just launched a year ago. That's a dramatic improvement in terms of the comfort. Fewer people complain of tired eyes and sore necks and things like that because it's a very comfortable, easy to fit in design built around the digital lifestyle. So enough
Perfect.
about
So
that right
needed
now.
today.
There's so much to talk about. Forgive me, I'm
I
out of breath
know.
almost here. We have a display case here that Erinn put together for us. She collected a variety of lenses and historical eyewear and eye craft here. We start with a pair from the 1860s, the various
Wow.
Zeiss designs you can see over here. One interesting call out here is a letter from John Kennedy,
Oh,
who
wow.
was put into a pair of bifocals, and he loved them so much that he wrote to Zeiss
That's
saying that he
funny.
wanted another pair. And sadly, unfortunately, that letter is dated from a few hours before he passed away
Oh,
and
my
was
goodness.
assassinated. So very moving, but he loved his
Yes.
lenses, he loved the bifocals, and wanted us to know that he wanted another pair. We've got some other
Incredible.
evolutions here in terms of our packaging today and how we send things, different styles of space or the moon sunglasses. They weren't worn on the moon, but the astronauts had these lenses with them. And then looking a little bit further down over here, we have our what we call our sports optics, our consumer products windows or areas that highlight obviously our collection of superlative binoculars. We made some outstanding binoculars for nature lovers or people who love the outdoors. We also make some rifle scopes for hunters out there, and there are many of those. And then over here is kind of our area that focuses on camera lenses. So we make
Oh,
some of the
wow.
finest camera lenses and
No
over here
doubt.
movie lenses. So I don't know if the
Oh,
folks
interesting.
online know that Zeiss won 3 Oscars for technical achievements. So we are an
Wow.
Oscar-winning company, and every year, Oscar-nominated movies are typically shot. Some of the best ones out there, your favorite movies have been shot with Zeiss lenses, and this is kind of what they look like. So we make these
So
specifically
cool.
for cinematographers, and we have a little section of some vintage signage of Zeiss and Zeiss products. In fact, we feature even here a Fortune magazine cover that was highlighting our planetarium cameras. You may know or may not know
Oh,
that
yes.
we celebrated last year the 100th anniversary of the development, the invention of the planetarium, and Zeiss was there. Zeiss made it happen. So we're super proud of that achievement, and of the 2,000 planetariums around the world that are equipped with Zeiss planetarium projectors. So a little piece of trivia for you right there.
It's such a cool story, great for our readers to know about all the sides of Zeiss, the many different things that Zeiss does.
Absolutely, and that was the intent of this particular display area, is to connect people a little bit to the brand. And perhaps nothing does it better than what I have over here on my right. You may recognize a scene that we tried to recreate, the landing of the first man on the moon back in 1969. We just recently
Wow.
celebrated 50 years of that. And what you'll notice is, and few people may realize, is the astronauts, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong, were equipped with cameras that had Zeiss lenses on them. And here's a
Mm.
replica with a Hasselblad body and the Zeiss sonar lens. And what you may be looking and saying, well, this is kind of strange. Why isn't he holding the camera? And that's because they had no viewfinder. They couldn't pull up the camera and point it using their helmets. They couldn't see through it and bang it on there. So they wore the cameras on their chest and used their
Oh,
bodies to
wow.
point and take pictures. So the photo of Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were all taken from them. We're taking pictures of each other's using their chest and pointing to get those.
Incredible.
So we tried to
Wow. Lots
recreate
of
this.
good tidbits here.
All the Zeiss, the NASA missions from Gemini to Mercury to Apollo were featured Zeiss lenses. So Zeiss and NASA go back a long ways and have a very deep and close collaboration for sending and capturing all the images of the missions using Zeiss optics. So this
Very
is kind of
cool.
the crowning piece, if you will. That again, I talked earlier about the importance of the brand and the Zeiss brand, and when people see and notice all these things and connect the dots of how Zeiss has touched their lives, whether from microscopes or camera lenses or wearing glasses or semiconductor technology or medical technology, goes on and on. Zeiss is touching everybody's life in so many aspects, which is why
Hmm.
we take the pains to ensure that people know that we're an optics company. We're not a lens company, we're an optics, and have been for 175 years. And anything to do with helping people see the world better, whether at the nano scale all the way to the universal scale and seeing far beyond the stars, the Hubble telescope, the James Webb telescope, have all been equipped with Zeiss technology to help people see further. So all of those things and everything in between, Zeiss has played a role. And that's the connection that we want people to feel, that Zeiss is an authentic company that stands for improving society. And I've reminded people a number of times that Zeiss is also a foundation-owned company, which means all of
Right.
the profits go back into the business or research, science, education, or community outreach. So when people know all this stuff, they feel differently about Zeiss, as we all do working for
Absolutely.
Zeiss.
Absolutely. It's such an incredible story. And this is so powerful to be able to share this, to understand, the whole company, the whole view of Zeiss. And I think this tour has really given us that, even in a nutshell. I really excited to be able to see this, and for our viewers and our readers to be able to see this, Andrew. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you. It's been my pleasure. And again, I'm so proud, and I want to welcome and invite Again, everybody who's watching or who's interested to learn more or to experience for themselves what the Zeiss Vision Center is all about, what the Customer Experience Center does and the lab and how it works. You know, I think I mentioned earlier, it's the first paperless lab of its kind, using
Wow.
incredible technologies to track every single pair of lenses. We put mini digital barcodes inside the lenses. They're invisible to see, but they help people
Wow.
track the lens, so we know when it was made, for whom, on what date, using what equipment, and we manage all this information. So a year from now, somebody could come in with their Zeiss lens and we could scan and find that barcode and know everything about how it was made and when and who it was for. So great, you know, groundbreaking technologies, all available for people to see and experience when they come here to Hebron, Kentucky.
Most definitely. I mean, the lab alone itself could be a great story. You know, it's just to kind of get in there and dig in. We want the lab tour next.
And you know, it is kind of interesting how I think a lot of people in our industry still don't know exactly what goes into making a lens. You know, we all tend to
Sure.
think of it as just a little piece of transparent plastic, and it's easy to kind of dismiss what goes into it. And only when you come here and you see the journey that a puck takes to from being just a plastic puck to being turned into a lens, a bespoke lens for every individual and every eye, do you appreciate what goes into making that here? And so that's also part of our mission, is to make people understand kind of what goes on behind the curtains when they order a lens and how it's made, and to
Right.
appreciate the technology and the science that goes into making those. And combining that with this retail store concept, we feel that it's going to be a very powerful message and powerful experience for people to go through.
Absolutely. Gosh, well, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I feel like we could go on and on with more, you know, information. It just seems like we just cut kind of the tip of the iceberg there. There's so much there, and love to really check out more in the future. So thank you for sharing this. I see we have a lot of viewers and people have really stayed on, so I know they are engaged here with what we're sharing. So thank you for that, Andrew. We appreciate everyone here watching. And Andrew, wishing you guys a great day. Congratulations on everything there. And I know you have a lot to celebrate today, and I know there's many celebrations to come. So
Thank you very much.
thank
Thank you very
you.
much. And look forward to seeing you here in person, and all the
I
viewers as
can't
well.
wait. We'll do another live stream for sure. All right. Thank
Thank you.
you. Wishing
Take care.
everybody a
Bye.
great day.